everyone! Welcome to what is, I suppose the first episode of my survival multiplayer series. I'm working on my build here, and I've actually already recorded some material, probably 2 or 3 episodes worth, I'd estimate. Done a few things like building this initial tower here when there was a bunch of junk here at spawn, and I built my tower I wanted to live in. I decided it was too small, and I didn't really know what to do about it, so I was happy with it. So I decided to build 2 more in like a equilateral triangle, and then build a nice big tower in the middle to live in. And yeah, so this became involved, and there is some recording of me doing a lot of that. I really don't have a lot of what I wanted on me, do I? This'll do for now. I wasn't even really planning on recording. Is this really how I want to do this? It is for now. I'm just gonna place blocks and talk. I wasn't planning on recording. I'm alone on the server. Nothing's really going on. I'm doing something that's relatively boring, and there is an unlit cave somewhere near this build too, so I have the same problem that I have in single player, apparently. That stupid ambient noise. But either way, let's place some blocks and talk. You are going to be seeing this Tuesday to give you an idea of the timing and how absolutely last minute this was, and how completely unplanned and off the cuff this happens to be. Should I have used half slabs? Especially because I have a shit ton. Well, I didn't. You're seeing this Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, Eastern Standard. Oh, you know what? I should build up that hill, because this isn't sitting on anything at the moment. I'm recording this. It is currently 2:30 a.m. that same Tuesday. So I will record this. One of my quite hated talkie episodes. I don't know if they're hated by you guys. No one's really chimed in on the subject, but no one really watches my videos either. But I'm not a big fan of when a YouTuber decides, hey, I'm just going to talk this episode. But you know what? I'm just going to talk this episode. That's what's up. No doubt by now you have heard that Robin Williams has passed away. It's quite a surprise, really. I mean, maybe not. Oh, that sucks. That's gonna break. Maybe not to the people who are close to him, who maybe knew more about his situation, but I would wager that for the majority of his fans, it was quite a shock. Myself included. I didn't... It's not news I was expecting to get. And I actually got this news. I was calling my mother because, well, I haven't spoken to my mother in a while, and she lives in an area of St. Louis that is quite close to where... I know I'm dating this video. Well, I've already dated the video with the Robin Williams comment, but quite close to the riots going on right now in, like, Ferguson, I think is the name of the area. My mother lives like 10-15 minutes away from there, and I have an uncle who basically lives in that area. So I was calling to check up, make sure everything was okay, and of course, because really, you should always take a moment and call your mother every now and then. Couldn't kill you. So I called my mom. And in the middle of that conversation, I get a Steam message from a buddy of mine. He feels bad for this now, but he really shouldn't. That Robin Williams had passed away. And of course, I parroted it immediately because, you know, mostly out of shock. And I'm on the phone with my mother. And Robin Williams, I want to say was, but was isn't it? Is most certainly is my favorite comedian. Let me hit level 30 and breed pigs. Let me hit level 30 by breeding pigs. And then I will continue. I'll continue as I work. Robin Williams is my favorite comedian, actor, person. And easily my favorite movie, without question. There we go. It's What Dreams May Come. If you haven't seen it, it is an amazingly poignant film about life and loss and death, and paints a whimsical but still dark vision of an afterlife. And I've always come away from that movie, I mean, from the first time I saw it, I was changed. I gained an appreciation for life and death that I didn't have beforehand, that movie instilled in me. And one of the principal themes of the film is Robin Williams' character, who has died. I'm not spoiling anything. He's dead in the movie. It's not Sixth Sense style nonsense. He straight up dies, and he's in the afterlife. And his wife died of suicide. She killed herself after a car accident that claimed the lives of their children. She had been struggling with mental issues, dementia, depression. She was institutionalized, and finally she took her own life. And when Robin Williams' character passes away, he finds himself in the afterlife, only to discover that his wife, having committed suicide, was relegated to an eternity in hell because she failed to appreciate the beauty of the gift of life. And the punishment, as outlined in the film, for those who do commit suicide, those who do forsake that gift, is that she has to live an empty life for eternity in hell. Like a living nightmare. It's a very beautiful film. It's a very underrated film. It's actually really poorly rated online. Like, if you actually look up reviews of it, it does not fare well. But it is easily my favorite movie, and I cannot recommend it enough. That said, to find out that, of all men, Robin Williams, who, Jesus Christ, inarguably has brought joy into the lives of, at the risk of hyperbole, millions, would then so ineffectually struggle with his demons that it was the solution. That there was no other conceivable way to escape his own little prison that he was trapped in. And the fate of his character's wife in this movie, I feel, is a very poetic analogy to living with depression. And I feel that... Can I get this? No. I'm not that good at Minecraft. And the shovel is... gone. It's not there. Although I did that wrong and it's probably gone because of me. But I wasn't going to get much more out of it anyway. Jesus, what do I have to do here? Let me get rid of this. So you can see what I'm doing. Aha! There's no way I can fuck that up. Unless I fuck it up. Alright, you're in service now. Where am I going with this? So, he was struggling, obviously, with a demon that he just couldn't beat. Yeah? Much like his wife in What Dreams May Come. And his life leading up to that moment was probably quite comparable to her afterlife. And it never really dawned on me before what an amazing allegory for depression that whole situation is. She's trapped living a life that she can receive no enjoyment from, only regret. She can't connect with anybody. I'm going to avoid movie spoilers, but she can't interact with the environment around her. It just, she can't. She doesn't have the strength to. And that's what that kind of depression can be like. And I'm not speculating. Let's put it this way, huh? Depression is something that I've dealt with my entire life. It's no big secret amongst my friends. And you just kind of, for me anyway, because I know what it is. Yeah? I know the face of the devil. It's not a mystery to me. I'm not... Jesus, this block lag is insane. When I feel that way, it's not... I don't go, oh, why do I feel this way? I don't understand. Well, I do understand. I know exactly why I feel that way. It's depression. Why I am depressed, I couldn't tell you. I don't have an answer for that one. I've never figured that one out. I'm 30 years old in 14 days. Something like that. I still don't know. Something's wrong in my head. I don't eat enough fiber. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you. But it is the devil, I know. And that message was hidden in that film, in plain sight from me, for years. And this is what it took for me to realize it was there. And it's unfortunate that this is what had to happen to open my eyes to something that's actually particularly obvious about that film. But it has in fact happened. And Robin Williams, depending on how you look at it, has either lost his battle or won it decisively. Arguments can be made for both. I would appreciate it if the comment section of my video is not where that, or I would appreciate it if the comment section of my video does not become the battleground of that argument. But, regardless, there's a block here. What's going on with this block lag? This is ridiculous. It's over. He doesn't feel that pain any longer. For better or for worse. And when it's that bad, that solution is delightfully simple. It's a very easy conclusion to come to. If I wasn't alive anymore, I wouldn't feel like this anymore. It's logical at its most cold, right? Oh, look at that. Someone's mine. I'm not saying that it's good logic. I'm definitely not arguing for suicide. I'm just trying to maybe shed a little light for some who may be confused. He was a great man. He was a funny man. And he brought joy to everyone he ever encountered, I'm sure. Myself included. I mean, he never encountered me per se, but you know what I mean. But for all that, I just realized I have to heavily edit this video so that my buddy's battle tag isn't in it. For all that, it wasn't enough for him. And a lot of people aren't gonna understand. And I'd like to be able to say it makes sense. It does to a degree, but not in a good way. I'm definitely not going to try to explain it in terms that would sound like me attempting to rationalize his death, because that's not happening. I'm personally very distraught over his death, if you couldn't tell. My mother was too when I was in the middle of that conversation and I found out. Because Robin Williams has easily always been a favorite of hers, and George Carlin. What he did, while it most certainly ended his pain, he's definitely caused a lot more. And there's... the common argument against suicide is that it's selfish. It's quote-unquote the easy way out. And let me squash that bug right here and now. That's not easy to come to. To finally decide this is it, I promise you. That's not as easy as it's made out to be. Not even a little bit. He definitely hurt a lot of people. His family, his friends, millions of fans, in order of importance, to end his own suffering. At the end of the day, that was his suffering to deal with as he chose. I don't support his decision, I simply respect it. And I assure you that is possible. Let's do that. Because that's not looking natural at all. Whatever, I just need to get, like, a base to work from for now. Oh, I should probably fill this in with something. Because otherwise this is tremendously hilarious creeper bait. Kill that, I don't know why I had that on. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, it's going to be tremendously easy to condemn the man. Very, very easy. And I think those who do are missing the true tragedy. And that is, essentially, it's how we treat people who are depressed, suicidal. They're treated as a burden. Yeah? I've had really low moments in my life. I speak without exaggeration when I say the majority of them have been in the past 18 months. I've had a rough year and a half. In fact, I often comment that I can't wait for 2013 to be over. Because to this day, I'm still feeling the effects of events that occurred as early as March of last year. that have greatly changed my life for the worse. And in these low moments, I've reached out to people for help. So like I said, it's the devil I know. I've been dealing with depression in my life for as long as I can remember, unfortunately. Something I've grown up with. No one knows how to help you. And that can be emotionally draining for your friends. It's frustrating. They know you need help. They don't know how to give it to you. They don't know what help to give you. You don't know what help to ask for in that situation. You don't. You don't know what words to say. You typically don't have the ability to say them even if you did. That's how depression works. You don't have free control over yourself anymore. The ability to rein in your emotion and function like a normal human being is gone. It's not there. It's about as good a definition of depression as I can muster, in fact. If you do feel that way, and you reach out to your friends and they struggle and like, well, just be happy, think happy thoughts, blah, 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 and it doesn't help, and you start to get frustrated and you don't understand what can be done, if anything, and why it seems like your friends don't care. They do. Don't think for a second that your friends don't care. That's an easy mistake to make when you're in that place. I've even made it personally. There are friends who I kind of drop contact with because, I reached out to them in low moments and I got varying answers from, you should see a therapist, which, in that person's defense, that wasn't terrible advice, but it wasn't what I needed to hear then and there. And before you ask, I actually eventually did. I got answers such as, literally, well, stop thinking that way. Like it was just that easy, like it was a switch. And it functions a lot like a switch, but you don't have your finger on the button. So when someone tells you, well, just don't think that way, just think happy thoughts, be happy, whatever the hell. At first you think, oh, that's good advice, maybe I should stop being such a downer. It doesn't quite work that way, unfortunately. And the person who's saying that, despite their ignorance, is trying. I had a friend tell me that he couldn't deal with a friend who was suicidal. That it was too much for him. And that if I was going to talk that way, that he just politely, well, I don't know about politely, he requested that I don't talk to him about it at all. A very good friend of mine. Someone who is still a very good friend of mine, in fact. 'Cause I don't blame him for his reaction. You're going to get every kind of response in the universe except what you need, because no one knows what you need. You don't even know what you need. You're blindfolded to that kind of thing. This is coming out okay. That's gonna have to go down in the lake, I guess. Oh well. And your friends are going to get frustrated, and they're going to say shitty things like that. Because there's no manual for dealing with a friend who just can't take it anymore. There's no step-by-step guide, say these things and everything will be better. There just isn't. Not one that I know about. If one exists, I'd love to see it. First person to link me to the Bible gets banned. And the real trick of it is to not confuse your friend's confusion for apathy. They care. I promise you, they care. It's very disconcerting to somebody when you come with them, or come to them rather, with something like, I've been considering ending my life. That's pretty serious. I haven't met the person yet who could deal with that gracefully. You could call a suicide hotline. They don't know how to handle that gracefully. But they handle it eventually. And it's very important to know, very specifically, that in those moments of darkness where everything's just too much, getting out of bed is too much, turning on the light is too much, answering your phone is too much. There are people who care, and they don't know how to bring that across to you, because you can't recognize it yourself. And that is, if I had to make an assumption based on personal experience, somewhere around where Mr. Williams was. May he rest in peace. Is that he didn't know how to reach out anymore. He couldn't. It just wouldn't let him. It does hold you back. It binds you. You are a prisoner to depression, very literally. And need more dirt while I am up here. No one necessarily has the keys. But I guarantee you, your friends and your family would dig a hole right through the wall to help you get out. Had they the chisel or the shovel or what have you. Go down to the slime farm, there's still a bunch of shit there. See, now this thing is a triangle and it's confusing. Okay. But if you get to that place, I'm not telling you not to tell your friends, because you should. In fact, you need to tell as many people as possible. And if you get a negative response, or a response that you construe as being negative, you have to remember, as locked as you are in, those people are just as locked out. I thought there was way more in here. Hopefully that's enough. Stretch it out, make it last. What's this farm doing anyway? Is this full? Oh, it's over here anyway. Don't worry, I plan on doing... Jesus Christ. Way too much slime. I plan on doing real episodes. Well, not real, quote-unquote, but, you know, episodes that aren't this from the survival multiplayer server. But I did want to talk about this. Robin isn't fighting that fight anymore. He chose how to end it. If that's a fight you're fighting, you don't have to make that same choice. It doesn't seem like there's a choice. Like I said, it seems like the perfectly logical solution. If I'm not alive, I'm not going to feel this way. And yeah, that's true. If you're not alive, you're not going to feel anyway. I know it's kind of like you don't think that you feel anything now. But that's... You do. You're just not processing it correctly, I would guess. Is how I would word it. Those emotions are still there. They don't shut off. You're still human. Work from there as a base. Just do this, actually. That doesn't look terrible. That looks terrible. And if you choose that way, then I suppose that's it for you. And if you choose to fight, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, you just talk to a therapist, you know, you go in twice weekly or what have you. You see him on Tuesdays and Thursdays. A couple months from now, you know, in no time you'll feel better. That's not the case either. At best, you're going to learn how to manage it. But that's important. Because once you've gotten that far, life is still definitely a struggle. I'm not going to sugarcoat the situation. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that depression is easy to live with, because it's not. Trust me, I know. But once you're gone, you don't have any more choices. That's it. I mean, it sounds obvious, but it definitely bears mentioning. You only get one of these things. Unless a bunch of fringe religions happen to be correct. And wasting it because, for now, you not only don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you don't even... You're not even aware of a tunnel. What does that gain you? Not much. Promise you. If anything, not much. You have a lot more capacity to deal with your problems if you are suffering from depression than you may realize. There are resources. There are people who will talk to you. If your friends won't, and that's fine. Because like I said, they don't know how to communicate in that language. They don't know how that works. But there are people who have an idea. There are people who deal with that on a regular basis. Those resources exist. And they're not going to take the darkness away. They're just going to remind you where the light is. And from there, it's up to you as to whether or not you see it. But Robin Williams didn't see the light. That's unfortunate. It's tragic. And now he never will. He leaves behind a family, friends, fans, the entire world gone to him. But not to you. Of course, it's pretty clear I'm speaking to people who may be suffering from depression. I actually want to take a moment to go back to addressing people who don't. If you listen to that, you have an idea of how alien the world can seem when somebody is depressed. And if somebody approaches you that you know, and say, hey, here's the thing, they're not going to approach you. If they do, that's great. But if you notice them withdrawn, maybe not partaking in the things that they used to anymore, it's typically a dead giveaway. It's not being able to find enjoyment in the things that you love the most anymore. If you notice that in somebody you know, or if they do come to you, try not to get frustrated, because it's not your fault, but to them it makes them feel like it's theirs. It's not your fault that it's frustrating. It's a frustrating situation. The best thing you can do, as somebody who is dealing with somebody who is suffering from depression, is simply be there. If they want to talk, listen. If they just want somebody in the room, hang out. If they start to open up and they want to go somewhere, they want to do something, they want to play a game, they want to go see a movie or something, don't do that. Become involved. And that's all you can do. And if they insist that they want to talk, and you don't know what to say, just listen, because that's all they need. That is all they need. The best you can do for somebody who is suffering from depression is to be there for them and to fill their needs as best as they can. If they want something so much that they're capable of telling you what it is, that's major. And you would be doing them a great service to do everything in your power to help them with whatever it is that they need. If they just want somebody to come over and bring them a hamburger, I've been there. I've been in situations where it's like, I'd really love some French fries, but I can't bear leaving the house. I've been that guy. I would have loved a friend to bring me some French fries. Do that if you can. That is the best thing you can do for that person, by far. So we've got another Minecraft night here, and I have a feeling that means we're approaching the half-hour mark. But at this point, I feel like I'm maybe rehashing the things that I'm saying over and over. Trying to explain it in different ways to hope to give anybody watching this an idea of what it may be like, what somebody might be going through, from personal experience, both with my own depression and my friends. Hopefully you understand the situation better. And hopefully you understand what people like Robin Williams go through on a regular basis that could cause them to come to such a harsh conclusion. That's really all I have to say. So, I promise my episodes won't be so morose in the future. Definitely got some work done on making that look like a hill and not a platform. Now I can start filling in those walls. That's what those were. That's why I decided to start building that hill, is now I know where to build the wall down to. But yeah, if anything, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Because it definitely helped me. And hopefully you can be there to listen to someone else when they need. Or hopefully you will understand that if you need somebody to listen, that those people are out there for you. Your friends will listen to you. They won't know how to respond, but they'll listen. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna head out. Oh, he despawned on me. I'm gonna finish these walls. And I will catch you guys next time. Take care. And be safe.